The first day of Origins Game Fair just keeps rocking and rolling, and every convention I have to sit down. Well, usually we stand.
Yeah, but this time we're sitting. We're lazy this time.
I'm old. No, it's just the way
it was my
out.
decision. I'm big.
It's working out this way.
I'm big. You can say it. I've already said it to you. It's fine.
I want any comments in the comments section.
Be reasonable. Be reasonable. I'm going to see it.
It is Bruce Voge.
Yes.
From North Star Games.
Absolutely. How goes it, Jeff? How's your first day?
First day's good.
Good.
First day's pretty good.
Good.
I haven't gotten worn out from listening to people tell me about their games they're selling yet.
Did you already talk to Bonacor?
Of course.
And you're not worn out yet?
No. And
nice.
And he still had a voice. So
you got to do that day one. He and I both. You got to do that day one.
Coming to
go, yeah.
I'm going to bring a translator in here, Stephen, because I don't know what you're trying to say here.
I get it. We have so many games. Coming out. With so much stuff happening.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about it?
I think we could.
Okay.
So, I mean, unless you guys are going out of business, not going to have any games anymore.
No, far as I know, we're plenty much in business.
I thought so.
I believe, because I got a stack of games here.
Yeah.
Of stuff that we're doing.
So first off, I don't know why I did not get a letter asking for my permission to use Dirty Pig because that's what women call me all the time.
I understand. When we were naming this, and I've said this to many people, we actually had a real discussion. People dressed in business clothing in a room having a talk about whether we should call it Dirty Pig or Filthy Pig. And we thought Filthy Pig sounded dirtier than Dirty Pig, so we named it Dirty Pig.
Depends on what crowd you were looking. If you're looking for the family gamers and the kids, Filthy Pig probably would have been.
But we put it because we were like, well, dirty is dirty, so maybe Filthy's less dirty. And we were like, no, Filthy's more dirty. Yeah. Dirty is the right amount of dirty.
It's like X-rated and XXX. It's got to be XXX.
Yeah, and that's what we were worried about. Was we were like, I think in the terms when you would use, you're a filthy pig. I don't know. Dirty pig, like that might just actually be a literal pig like is in this game that just got dirty.
Like who was the dope who came up with what do they call it now, bags or whatever, and they call it cornhole, and you're like,
what were you thinking?
You know what that means.
Did you not know?
Right?
That does not mean what you think that means. Don't call a family game that. Right?
We're going over to Grandma's, we're going to play a little cornhole.
Yeah, we're just going to, hey, Grandma, you want a cornhole?
I was going to say we're cornholing with Grandma.
Yeah. No, not good. Not how you should do it. No.
So right now, we're going to talk about a kid's game.
Let's talk about a kid's game called Dirty Pig.
I was going to say, we're not family friendly.
No, but thanks for sticking around. So, essentially in the game, you have multiple pigs. That is a clean pig. A clean pig is an unhappy pig. You want to make pig a dirty pig. Dirty pig is a happy pig. Right. You do that by playing a dirty pig card. Dirty pig card will make a pig dirty, and it's fine. You can, as a farmer, come over and clean the pig. Pigs hate that. Yeah, it's the worst. Right. You are not only an agrarian, sir, you are a weather wizard, because you can efficiently clean pigs. I keep putting it over in the front of the screen with the rain. Okay. The pigs hate that. So they will go into barns. Remember when I said you're a weather wizard? Now, when they're in a barn, you can still walk in and clean them. Pigs hate that. So they have learned basic engineering, and they can build doors. And if they bolt a door on there, you can't go in and clean them. Okay? You, whereas, as we've established, a weather wizard can burn down the barn with lightning. Whereas...
That doesn't make me a weather wizard, it makes me an arsonist.
Yeah, it does. It certainly does, but also a weather wizard.
Because lightning started that fire?
Yes, exactly. Don't get me wrong. You are a weather wizard arsonist, but you did
cleaner.
Both. Indeed. Right. Now, the pigs have learned you can do this, so they, knowing basic engineering, have a lightning rod. So if you put a pig in a barn with a door and a lightning rod, they can't be made dirty. However, you don't need to worry about all that. All you have to do is get 3 pigs dirty. If you get all your pigs dirty, you win the game. It's that simple. So while people are building these elaborate structures, you can just go like dirty pig, the game's over. Game takes
and you're trying to clean their pigs it's
a little bit of take that where you're trying to clean a pig and stop them, and you're trying to build up your own armaments to protect yourself, and it takes about 5 to 10 minutes, just like all the games in the Happy Planet line. Right. Fun little game. Get your pigs dirty, clean your pigs. Yeah. Yeah.
With a zipper and everything.
I know. Look at this guy. Look at that weird, guilty little guy. Look at him. He's so upset.
It's like, isn't it Monster Match, the one that's got the little monster? Yes. I think that's hysterical.
Absolutely. And it was, as a matter of Monster Match, if you're out there and you care, Monster Match was just Kinderspiel recommended for this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we didn't get up to the award, but we were in that small list of recommended games past
The check wasn't big enough.
and indeed, and hopefully next year you'll see Dirty Pig there. Which, okay, so actually, as a matter of fact, this was originally released as Drecksau in German and was a recommended game in German. So it's our second Spiel recommended game that we have. So
Hey, let's move on to a Jeff recommended game.
absolutely, let's do exactly that.
Wits and Wagers. Vegas, baby.
Vegas, baby.
Vegas, baby.
So if you remember a couple years ago, and I'm sure you do, Jeff, because that's the first time we really talked to each other, was we did the big,
I think we talked before.
but only a little
We
bit.
had it was the party.
There was the party.
So we were all jumping around at the party.
Exactly. So for the party, we did Vegas Witch, which was the big giant mat that you could swaddle a small dog in. And that's real hard to ship places. And it's not cheap to make or sell. So we decided, hey, a lot of really cool principles are on that mat. So why not make a version that we can put in places like Target so that like people could actually get it? So that's what we've done. Is we have we've made the mat smaller. It's good enough to block both of us in this picture. So it's still a good size, but it's a reasonable size. We've also doubled down on the Vegas look. So if you look, the cards look like they're out of a casino. The "Sorry We're Closed" banners are kind of fun neon.
Got rid of the martini glasses.
Oh, we did get rid of the martini glasses. They may come back. We're actually going to be doing.
I love that.
Yeah, and it was so cool looking.
Yeah.
It was so cool looking.
It's like, oh, that's awesome.
We also did the chips. They look like actual casino chips. And everything we did is to just give it that Vegas look. We wanted to double down on that Vegas casino kind of vibe to it. So this will actually be able to be available at Gen Con. It will also be available at Target the exact same time as Gen Con.
Is this going to be a Target exclusive?
This is a Target exclusive, at least, I believe, for the first year. Most Target exclusives go 1 year, and then they decide if they're going to continue or not. Dude was last year's exclusive. Dude is now available in the market everywhere. This time it's Vegas Wits and Wagers. We will also have it at all of our booths, obviously, so if you want to get it from us, we would certainly appreciate that. But it's going to be like last year, Villainous had the same deal. If you were driving to Gen Con, you could stop at Target, pick up Villainous, and then bring it with you to Gen Con. That's what you're going to be able to do with the Vegas Baby version of Wits and Wagers.
And no joke, I say it's a Jeff recommended game because I have to keep the copy that I got originally in my car.
Nice.
Because people have parties and they say, hey, you got that Vegas trivia game thing? I'm like, yes, it's in the car.
It's a great game. I mean, there is a reason.
And it's not gamers. These people are not gamers. And they're like, hey, let's play that because it's so much fun. And I'm like, okay.
And then the other cool thing, so for you, because you got it all, what you're going to like out of here is that the stack of questions in here, we took, I think, 35 questions out of the big tube because they were just such cool questions. And the rest of it is new content.
Nice.
And then there's going to be a deluxe Wits and Wagers Vegas Baby that's going to be in kind of the hobby market, like your local game store. And that's going to be later in the year, like around the holiday season.
Okay.
That's going to have like a 6-fold board. The 10-to-1 bet's going to be on that, and it's going to have 2 stacks of questions with
The
it.
cocktail server actually comes with the box.
Exactly, like a little mini. Maybe we'll do a 3D print where you can make yourself a couple of cocktail servers to just sit around the board and hang out.
Yeah, right.
Just be like, hey.
A little like bobbles. Just a bobble. It'll be like,
If only, you know,
you
we'll.
have a bartender and a cocktail server.
Oh, absolutely.
Nothing sexist.
No, then there's no intent of it. There's no intent to be. Now, the hard part's going to be is getting people to put the spring in the neck for the different. But I think we can work it out.
Put them in the waist, so they're like.
Oh, so they're like hula.
martini shaker
They're
with a
hula
bartender,
people.
right? So you
Oh, I
shake
can
the
see that.
bartender.
Yeah, like that thing. I can see that. So
I
now,
know. Why am I not running a game company, huh? With these fantastic ideas.
right? So we're going to move on to our next one. Also at Gen Con,
Yes.
the Krautervixen Von der Hexen, the Herb Witches, as we're going to be calling it. If you already know about our incredibly popular Quacks of Quedlinburg, won the Kennerspiel last year, sold completely out. It is now back in stock. Literally, I know we're in the past, but in the past here it was available. So that means if you don't have it, go to your local store, they're going to have it there. Coming out of Gen Con and in your local stores, not much after Gen Con, is going to be the Herb Witches. Herb Witches gives you a 5th player. Herb Witches gives you 1 new book for each ingredient. Herb Witches adds a new ingredient called Loco Weed, which Loco Weed you're going to pay for, but it has no value, and the value is its power. So one side of the Loco Weed is, for each Loco Weed, it goes 1 more further down the track. So your first one is a 1, your second one is a 2, your third one is a 3, so on and so forth. The other side of the loco weed is it's your number of rat tails plus 1. So if you can plan for the game to do very badly to take advantage of the loco weed.
Okay.
Yep. Third thing it adds is it adds an overflow bowl. So at the end, if you take a look at your copy at home, pull it out right now, pause us, come back to us, but pause us. Grab your copy. You're going to look at the end of
I
the
don't have a
spoon.
copy, so this is all Greek to me. I'm just...
Exactly. Well, that's why I didn't ask you to pull your copy out. I didn't want to see your copy. I'm saying them, the people. Pull your copy out.
I get it.
At the end of the spoon, you see that 35-15, and there's like a little ridge under it. Well, there's now an overflow bowl that fits in there. So if you go past the end of the spoon, you can score more points. That's another thing that's on there. The final thing, the thing it's named after, are the herb witches. There are 3 witches that come to town, and what's really neat is, so if you look at this picture, since you already have your copy of Quacksalber out, or I say Quacksalber because I can see it in German, the Quacks of Quedlinburg.
Right.
This is about 10 feet in front of the picture from the Quacks of Quedlinburg, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
Yeah, like on the cover, this is the town in the background.
Right.
This is happening right outside of the picture frame from the other box.
Yes.
And the witches are coming in town. You have 3 witch pennies at the beginning, a silver, a bronze, and a gold. You can buy each witch 1 time to help you. And the witches do things like they look at almost every chip in your bag, except for the most common, and they give you 2 points for every chip they can see. So you're like, well, I have a whole bowl full of new different weird chips. I'll pay this. Or they'll say, okay, at any point in the game, pay me a penny, and I'll pay you an insane amount of points for every different color of chip that is in your pot. Or, hey, whatever money you made to buy new ingredients, you can double it this turn. And you pay them a penny, and they let you break the game in different ways.
See, my eyes are glazing.
I do. That's why I stopped.
I haven't played the game. That's why I'm like...
But if you have, you're going to understand exactly how cool this is. And if you haven't, you should probably get it, play it, pause, come back. You'll understand how cool it is. Rewind, rerun 3 minutes, play, you'll understand how cool
Wait weeks and weeks to watch the end of this video.
Exactly.
Wait for the game to be shipped.
Yeah, indeed. Or go to your friendly local game store, pause it, go back, play this right now at the table at the game store, and then maybe, depending on how long it's been, buy the herb witches right after and understand how great that is.
There we go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a new title, pretty big buzz about this one. It's the newest game in the, I guess we'll say evolution line.
We can say that now. Evolution will not really be on the box.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, but it is definitely in a similar vein.
Right. I love the stained glass. Ocean.
And that is Oceans, which one of the neat things is, so the box back, it's going to have 2 box fronts. This is, now you can tell looking at the box, is clearly a work in progress version of the box.
Right.
But it is going to be a double fronted box with all of the important information about the game kind of on the edges.
Yes.
And the main deal with Oceans is this. There is a core set of, I believe it's 12 traits that are going to feel like the evolution games that you know. They are all the art is by Catherine Hamilton, who's done all of our art. They all are things that are in the known world. It is a great ecosystem game. What's really neat about it is you don't need a specific card to attack. You can always attack if you want to. And essentially you're solving the riddle of how do I eat for all of my species when only 1 species can eat per turn.
Right.
And then once you're done with that, we have the Deep. And the Deep is art a little bit by Kathy Hamilton, but a lot of it not by Kathy Hamilton.
These are like sea monsters.
These are everything from the known world to things that may potentially exist to things that there are no way exist. So there's like Draconic is one of the cards, where like literally you have a dragonfish. There is the Kraken, the Leviathan, the Hydra. All of those are in there. You actually have to pay points out of your bag or your screen or whatever it's going to be, and you have to throw them in to be allowed to play these cards. But the advantages they give you are gigantic.
But you don't, this is more like an optional, almost like a built-in expansion.
Yes.
You don't have to play with them.
No, we suggest that you do. If you want pure science, stick to the base, what we call the surface traits. And it's a great game, and it balances on the head of a pin, just like all the stuff that we make. It's a tournament quality, tournament worthy game. But what we sort of learned was the more people we talked to, people were like, I'd like to open a bunch of presents. I want a bunch of weird cards to do a bunch of weird things. And that's not normally what North Star does. We do, hey, here's this game, and it's perfectly balanced, and just sit it on the top of a pin and just slowly spin it and walk away. And we're good at that. But the more we talked to people, people were like, I don't care if it spins on the head of a pin. I don't care if it's perfectly balanced.
I want something goofy.
I want something goofy. So we've made stuff in this, and I would say, for my taste, some of the most sense of humor we've ever had in any of our strategy games. There's one card called Sparkles, which is Sparkles the Unidolphin, which is like a happy dolphin with a unicorn horn. And the artist that drew it, it almost looks like it was in the Powerpuff Girls universe.
Wow, okay.
And then there's another card called Go Fish that looks like dogs playing poker, but with the iconic creatures from our Surface deck. So it's like everybody kind of has seen that shark that looks like Mike Tyson.
Yes.
That shark is in the picture. The tentacles guy is like reaching under the table and grabbing like a 6 of clubs. Yeah, so like we've had some real fun with a lot of the promos that are in it. That is actually probably right now when this comes out, it might still be available in backer kit. If you want to pick it up, it'll be coming out in fourth quarter to retail. But like there's all kinds of stuff that's in that backer kit version that may or may not be in the retail version that you'll find.
Put it on your holiday list, kids.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, originally we were announcing it as a 2 to 6 player game. It is a 2 to 4 player game now. What we learned was the reviews we were getting were, at a 4-player game, it's one of the greatest experiences I've had. At a 6-player game, it might be one of the worst games I've played this year.
Did it drag a little?
Yeah, and that was the thing, it was just the amount of time it took every person to solve the riddle of how do I feed all my fish without only feeding one fish just takes a long time. And at 4 players, it doesn't feel so bad. At 6, you start to notice. Yep.
A little too much downtime.
Yeah, just and you really started to notice there more than you did at the 4-player version. Yep.
All right, there's something else you want to talk about?
One final game. This is coming out in Q4, so probably PAX Unplugged if you care about shows. If you don't, Q4. We have the German copy here, the Taverns of Teifenthal. We are going to call it the Taverns of Teifenthal because we're not creative, and we put it out actually to the community, and we said, like, what do you want this to be called? And
why don't you just keep
yeah, they were like, why don't you just keep the name and stop confusing us? We are going to put Teifenthal together so it's an actual place in Germany rather than just deep woods. But it is a Wolfgang Warsch game, same guy who made Quacks of Quedlinburg and who is just on absolute fire right now. This is a cool game. It's got a really neat UI, UX where you're building your own bar. And you have like a little bar board with like a little table area and all these like puzzle pieces. As the game goes on, you upgrade your bar, you physically pull the puzzle piece, flip it over, and upgrade the puzzle. So you're doing a deck building game is one part of it, where you're getting new patrons into your bar and people that help you and brewers to bring you beer. And then after that, you're doing a dice draft, where you're then, so you're drafting dice to put on those cards you just played. So it's really neat. It's got 4 expansions in the box.
You got me at building a bar.
It reminds me a lot of like Diner Dash.
Okay.
Because it's like you're taking care of customers, and then you're upgrading the places the customers can go. And
But it's so much cooler than Diner Dash.
It is so much cooler.
You got to get this.
Absolutely. This will be coming out Q4. Really cool, super, super awesome. Now, the one thing I will say, the same thing I would say with Quacks of Quedlinburg. I always say that Quacks reminds me of a mix of Blackjack and Dominion. If you hear that and that sounds awful to you,
You don't want to get it.
yeah, I don't know that it's going to change your religion. This is a mix. This is a dice draft and a deck builder. If you like the sound of that, you're really going to love this. If you hate both parts of that, I'm not entirely sure that this is going to do it for you.
Right.
And that's just always my warning for any of these kinds of things. I really like it,
Right.
but if you're like, well, I hate every single deck builder I've ever
Right,
made,
yes.
and dice are terrible.
Right.
You know.
What kind of games are you playing without cards and dice?
Exactly. But I would say like the dice draft isn't as swingy as you think it would be. You get to take your dice and then you get to see which dice are coming to you. So you can set up for, okay, so I know I can play dice for these certain patrons. I know they'll give me money. This turn I can make a money turn. Because there's essentially 2 economies. There's a money economy that you use to upgrade everything. And then you also make beer. You use the beer to buy people that come into your bar.
Kind of similar to real life.
Indeed. That is exactly how
I spent a decade on the other side of bars, so yes, I know all about that.
Indeed, indeed. So yeah, that is coming fourth quarter. It's the next Wolfgang Warsch big box game, and we're happy to have done it. Schmidt has put it out in Germany, and we've worked real hard on the English because they gave us their English translation, and we took English and made English out of it.
Yes.
And we're actually really proud of that we don't just bring a flat reprint over here, that when we do it, we really do localize all the language. We go through, we look at how the rulebook flow goes, and if we think we can fix that, we do. We've put, God, it's got to have been 40 to 80 hours worth of time into this rule book, and we had English to start with.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good amount.
Yeah, I mean, we put a lot of time in to say like, okay, now read it. Now try to teach it to somebody. Now look at
Does
these.
that
bullet
make
points.
sense?
Exactly.
Better.
Exactly, and that's what we've tried to do for our localization of that game, and that'll once again be out fourth quarter.
Any other things on the horizon that you want to mention, or any final thoughts for the audience?
I would say, first of all, thank you so much for just getting through this, man, and lady, and people,
And lady. I have more than one woman watching.
Yeah, but I said man, and that was singular, so that's why I said lady singular.
Okay.
Folks, thank you for getting this far.
Ladies and gents, boys and girls.
Yeah, kitty cats, puppy dogs. Thanks. Dude will now be available in all places, so if you were like, hey, I don't have a Target near me, or I don't want to go to Target, that's an opinion. It is now in your friendly local game stores. You can get it everywhere. Check out all of our other games. They're wonderful. They're great. If you're going to be at Gen Con, say hey. If you're going to be at any of the conventions, say hey.
Yeah. You tend to be a fairly friendly person.
I sure try. You have a Patreon, right?
Not anymore. I shut it down.
Oh, I was about to try and get you some Patreon dollars. But, look, just do this. Just write a check and send it to the address below. And that's really the way to help. Yeah, I think that's what we can do here.
I might do a Kickstarter this year. I may actually do one.
Okay. That would be cool.
Yeah, it's, I've been doing this almost 10 years, so why not? But we'll talk about that later, gang.
Yeah. Beyond that, I think the next thing on the horizon, there'll probably be a Kickstarter next year for Super Wits and Wagers. We've been talking about it for a long time. That I think is the next one on the horizon. There's also a game, I don't have it with me. We have a prototype that's a half-decent looking prototype. I just didn't bring it for this show, called Paint the Roses.
You didn't trust these people at Origins.
Exactly. Called Paint the Roses.
Okay.
Paint the Roses is a group deduction co-op where you are gardeners for the Queen of Hearts, and she changes her mind constantly. So you're painting and changing the roses, but essentially, like, I know a rule.
So then you murder her, and then everybody's got to figure out, just like the Oriented Express, right? Everybody had a reason to kill him.
That's not
same thing, right?
No, it's not. It's not like as much as you wanted the pig arsonist. No. This one, it's just
showing a barn on fire with animals inside.
I understand. They made it out fine. But yeah, that'll be one of the next ones coming, and then Super Wits and Wagers coming down the horizon. So that's as far as I can see.
Well, what we'll probably do at Gen Con is we'll actually take a look at some of the stuff that's there.
Indeed.
Sweet.
We'll actually open some stuff up and look at it on the table.
We'll actually have some B-roll. People see the game.
Yeah, and that'll be the thing, is that we'll have the witches to be able to show you. Yep. We'll probably have oceans and a much better full, because I've got stuff here, but I'd really rather show you actual full components, because some of the components are really, really cool. So we can take care of that then.
Sweet.
I like to make sure we have things to talk about there.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
It is true that I will actually swing by to do interviews with you, even if I know you don't really have like a huge release coming out.
Yeah.
Just because we have fun.
Indeed, and that's how we got to Dude last year.
And that's why people don't subscribe to my channel anymore. They're like,
I'm sorry.
Oh man, he tugs the same people every year. I'm unsubscribing.
Oh.
Have a great show.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching my Origins Game Fair 2019 coverage. If you'd like to see more convention coverage, click right here. And if you'd like to see a somewhat random video from the Gaming Gang channel, including recordings of the live Monday through Friday episodes of The Daily Dope, click right here. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thank you very much for watching, and please subscribe.